There are players out there who are on a couch, just like this, right now, who could have an actual impact on the NBA season. They're just chilling at home, probably watching this video to see if they made my top 10 remaining free agents. I got you, Boogie. And I know what you're saying. This makes no sense. If a player can actually contribute, they should be on a team. That's not what history tells us. Back in 2012, the Rockets just waived Derek Fisher. He chose to sign with the Thunder and help them make the finals. In 2008, PJ Brown didn't play ball for 9 months before the Celtics put him in a game. He was 38 years old, but dude dropped 10 points with a clutch dagger in the 08 East semifinals. The C's won a title that year and he retired as a champ. Well, there are plenty of examples right now where a player balls out with a second chance. And that could happen this year with this list of players. Before we get to this, AM Hoops Plus memberships are open right now. Our first watch party is on the first day of the season, and memberships close on the 20th, the second day of the season, so check out the link in the description. But look, everyone deserves a second chance. In Boogie's case, like a fifth chance, but don't underestimate a person who is grinding their butt off for that second chance. I remember covering actually the Dallas Cowboys when I worked in TV. I was at their training camp one year, and there was a kid outside of their building holding up a sign like he was homeless, but the sign read, "An opportunity is all I need. I promise you won't regret it." And you know what? That kid never got a chance. He was still outside of the building at the end of that day, and he never got a tryout. I never actually forgot about that kid, and I always wondered what it would be like if he got a shot. I think people that are that motivated can do special things. So before we jump into this top 10, you have to know one free agency rule. Any free agent can sign anytime before or during the season. These dudes could be on a team whenever if there's an injury. The team just needs room on their roster. The cutoff date is before the playoffs. No team actually even needs salary cap space because anyone can sign to a vet's minimum as long as they're not hard capped. So with that out of the way, these are the top 10 guys who just need a second chance. Number 10, Tyler Johnson. He is a super athletic guy who can shoot. Dude dropped almost 37% from deep with Brooklyn last year, and he had 14 points a game in the 2020 playoffs. Just 29 years old. So do not be surprised if he shows up when somebody's backcourt gets banged up. I think the Celtics would be a good fit. I don't think young players like Romeo Langford or Aaron Nesmith are ready to help them win now. Number 9, Jeff Teague. You knew he'd be on this list, the NBA meme of 2021. But he was actually good for the Bucks in the playoffs. Teague dropped 11 points in 12 minutes for Milwaukee when they closed out the Hawks in Game 6. I know he's far from perfect, but if a team needs like a steady vet at point, you could do worse than a former All-Star. I think the Heat should sign him because I know Tyler Hero could play point guard if Kyle Lowry got injured, but that's not his best role. Number 8, Wes Matthews. People gave up on him because of one bad season. I know his time as a Laker sucked, but that happens. They brought him in to be a shooter around LeBron and AD, but he sucked. For his career before that, 38% from deep. Last year, 33% from deep, 28% in the playoffs. But there's a real chance that was just a one-year fluke. And I think he has at least one season left as an above-average shooter. The Cavaliers need this dude. Cleveland was dead last in three-point shooting last season. Number 7, Ed Davis. Most people forgot about Davis because he was on the crappy Timberwolves last season, but he is still an athletic rebound machine who can add veteran frontcourt depth. His problem was going to the Jazz 2 years ago. He was a respected backup big before that, but then he broke his leg early in Utah. After that, nothing went right. Now he's seriously underrated. He fits in Toronto. Chris Boucher and Kem Birch are bad on the boards. The Raps were 28th in rebounding last season. Number 6, Isaiah Thomas. Yes, I have to give it love to IT, even though I don't really believe in him. But you gotta feel for him, because it looked like Golden State was gonna give him a shot. Reports said that he had a great workout with them, but they just didn't take him. IT dropped this tweet saying that he has to keep his energy up at a 10, but I think teams hate that he keeps his defense at a 1. At this point, I would like to see IT get one last shot to cook. And I think the Knicks actually could be a good fit. Think about it. Obviously, they need point guard depth, they need offense, and I think they're good enough defensively to cover for IT. Number 5, Langston Galloway. How is one of the best shooters from last year still without a job? This guy hit over 42% from deep in Phoenix last season. Before that, he was 40% for the Pistons at over 10 points a game. Yes, his defense is Isaiah Thomas level awful, but every team needs a guy who can score from 3 who's not even 30 years old yet. I know this sounds crazy, but what about the Orlando Magic? They have a horrible shooting backcourt. They are young and they need to develop, but it wouldn't hurt to win a few games with Galloway making shots. Number 4, Avery Bradley. The Warriors dropped Avery Bradley despite Steve Kerr saying, quote, "He's been one of the best on-ball defenders in the league. Great off-ball cutter, a good three-point shooter, a very, very good NBA player." So why would you drop him? I think it's because the Dubs have Gary Payton II filling the exact same role, only younger. Avery Bradley's been on 2 all-defensive teams, but maybe age is catching up with him. Still, I think he is a fit on the Atlanta Hawks. They have an awful defensive backcourt of Trae Young and Lou Williams. Number 3, Aaron Baines. 2 years ago, he was one of the best parts of the Phoenix Suns. Remember DeAndre Ayton got suspended for PEDs? Baines stepped up big. Then he had one bad season in Toronto, and suddenly the league gives up on him. He was coming off of COVID. He is still a decent inside scorer with some range and athleticism. The only problem I see is his defense, but I think a good fit would be the Spurs. San Antonio has a ton of young backcourt talent, but not enough pick and roll partners for them. Number 2, Mike James. Remember how much fun this guy was last year on the Nets? They needed him to come in for depth, and he had some really fun moments. James is a great example of how many really talented guys are out there overseas who would do really well if they just had an NBA shot. He averaged about 8 points with over 4 assists in 13 games with the Nets. Stats dipped in the playoffs, which is to be expected his first time in the postseason. But at 31 years old, he showed his NBA dream is still alive. I think the Timberwolves need a playmaker like him after Ricky Rubio left. Pat Beverly just isn't that type of point guard. Number 1, DeMarcus Cousins. Look, I hate to put him on top because it's so obvious, but he deserves it. There's so much talent, and he still showed that in spurts with the Clippers last year. I think it is pretty obvious that despite his injury history, Boogie would be an elite backup center for a playoff team. He's a great scorer inside, obviously has some range, a good rebounder, a horrible defender. Now, people thought that he would go back to Sacramento because Boogie hinted at that with his profile picture, but I think he actually fits on the Knicks. Think about it. They already have 2 good defensive centers in Nerlens Noel and Mitchell Robinson. Boogie would be a great offensive change of speed. But while we're talking about hypothetical deals, check out this video. It's a fun look at, like, what if everything goes wrong this year? Like, what if the Nets are just horrible and they blow it up? What would those superstar trades actually look like?